Hey everyone, this is Mary. You're watching another little piece of my art. I'm going to show you what I colored in February because it's getting too far into March, and by the time I post this, because I kind of like to space them out a week or so, it's going to be even further into March. So I figured I better go ahead and show you now. I'm working with that wobbly tripod, so bear with me, and I have my legs across the bottom of it. And let's see, wait, I can bring you up a little at least. I have my legs bracing it. No, it's not going to do it. I have to get another one, you guys. If anyone knows of a good, decently priced tripod for filming videos, I would be so obliged to hear about that because I break every one I get. Also, in other news, I found another one of my twisty crayons with all the colors in them. I got so excited when I discovered this in a random drawer. It's the small things, right? Okay, so starting off with Color by Numbers Masterpieces. I'm going to try to finish this book this year, so I'm going to be like working back and forth in it, going back to things and then just tweaking here and there. So it's kind of always going to be, when I show it to you, it's kind of always going to be flipping and flopping, sort of. I did do the border on this one. I can't, let's see, wait. I don't know if that's better or worse. But I did do the border on this one. And, I don't know, guys, is that worse? Yeah, so I just used different, put my layer of watercolor down first because then I know that everything else can go over that. But sometimes it's fun to put, like, I put the oil pastel or crayon down first and then did some watercolor over the top of that and kind of let that, where the oil pastel didn't attached to the paper fully, you get some kind of cool effects with that. But anyway, my whole thing is trying to always cover up these bars at the bottom, so that's a thing that I'm working on. And I'm just kind of going back through, smoothing out some of the Crayola marker work. I didn't do this part of the dress yet, but that's kind of where I'm going with these. I did a border around this one last night just using crayons and oil pastels, and I'll have to come in with some sort of tape there, I think, and then I have a lot of pencil work to do to smooth this out. But I just work on them a little bit and then I come back. This one I just gave a watercolor border to last night. That was all I felt like doing. I don't know if I kind of like her the way she is. This one I have a lot of smoothing to do because even though I tried to put my Crayola super tips in straight lines so that it wouldn't be, crazy looking, it's still streaky. So I started coming in and trying to blend out my horse yesterday. I forget what this yellow, whatever that is, but it was scratchy and running out, so I'm going to have to go over that with pencils to smooth it. And then the same thing with this border in the back. I did paint out the border around this one, and I love that funky crayon for just a surprise pop of color in the curtain folds there, because of course that wouldn't have been a thing at the time. But yeah, I have to go in and blend out with his feet and stuff like that. But you can see I gave texture like on the floor with crayons. I'm just having a lot of fun and experimenting, and I'll need to get some washi tape or something for the bottom. I used to have so many washi tapes. I used to collect washi tapes, and I mean, I probably had 100 of them, and now I'm down to maybe, I don't know, 10 rolls, if that, if I even knew where they were all at. But yep, I don't know where they went. So I finished the penciling a lot of parts of it the other night. She was just semi done. And I did use Colors of the World to try to kind of blend. I wanted to get like an overall blend, because what they do is they have you use, you know, like 2 different colors for the shadow and then the highlight, but sometimes they're vastly different, or at least I should say what I have in my arsenal to color them with is vastly different. So then I try to come in with a 3rd color and smooth it out some, and then I have to figure out what I'm going to do around the outside. So a lot of fun with that one. This one I'm still working on, but I decided to use my Inkjoy pens. I love Inkjoy pens. They just look like this, Papermate Inkjoys. I used to do a lot of artwork with these. I went through so many sets of these, and it's time for a new set apparently, because this one was running out. But just to give some texture in certain areas, because I had to look at the finished image in the back to understand what like this was, to figure out, you know, how to place the colors, because sometimes with just the outline it'd be looking crazy. So yeah, I still have some areas to color and then blend for her, but so far I like the way she's turning out. These jewel tone Sharpies have really come in handy with this art book, because everything is kind of, you know, muted and moody in there anyway. So yeah, wait, if I pull you up, let me see, sorry, I'm trying again. If I pull you up and twist harder, will it stay? No. Sorry guys, I really need to get some better equipment. Nope, it's just gonna flop. Okay, let's see. I didn't do anything with the is this Degas? I didn't do anything with this one yet. Yeah, let's see here. I did, since I had the red paint out, I added just a little bit of a lighter color to it to play off of the color that was already in, I believe this is Christopher Columbus, in his lips, but I just dig the green hair of this paint. I just like this painting a lot. There's a lot of black, and they probably had shades of gray that I just did not have. But I'm gonna figure out a way to play around this. I might actually try to put words in here, like, I don't know, something about discovery or whatever. I don't even want to get into historical arguments on who discovered what, but you know what I mean. And then of course I have to cover up that mess on the bottom there. I did not work on her yesterday or recently at all, nor this one. Like I said, they're going to be in states of completion. I did work on her some yesterday. I wanted to blend out her hair a little bit, add some more darkness, and create this fold, this highlight in her, well, I mean, I guess it's her hair, but it kind of looks like there's a covering over her hair, like a little veil thing. Excuse me. So yeah, I have to do that and blend in some more parts, and then I don't know, I might leave the background the way it is, even though it's stripy and stuff, because sometimes it's okay with, you know, texture. But let's see. Yeah, I've been using, for that, I've been using these, of course. I have been using, I did happen to actually clean stuff out, and I found that I had 2 of these Prismacolor, what is this one? Brick beige. So I have 2 different colors of beige, so when it calls for that in the color key, on some of these skin tones, at least I won't have to do them pink, because when I first got this book, I just had, the only markers I had were like Crayola Super Tips and simple set of Sharpies, and there's really nothing to make any kind of a flesh, you know, peachish flesh tone out of it. So here's this one, and this is like one of the first ones I did, and so I added some border to the outside, went outside the border with pencils, Did a whole bunch more shading to her face. Tried to give it some contour and whatnot. Worked on her hat. So this one was starting to come together. I just decided to cover the color key with some washi tape. I mean, not everyone has to be, you know, major production or whatever, but I did go over some of the spots with pencil. You can see where it's shiny there, because this was a watercolor pencil. I remember that set very vividly. I don't know where it is, but I know I still have it. And they dried out a lot thinner and it's kind of more streaky, so I did that one. And I think we might be to the end of what I worked on in here. Yeah, so I'm so excited to do this one. And then when I did this one, this color, this teal here, or I mean this blue here, turquoise, is supposed to be a really light blue in the color key, but I did not have that color marker, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah, see? It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how I can make this one better, or what I do, if I do anything at all. I might just leave it. So anyways, I'm having so much fun working in this book. It's getting really warped in the front, so I think I'm gonna flip it over and start working on some in the back, so that it, you know, it wears the same way, because then your books start to get really you know, lopsided. So there's that. I worked in Star Wars. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? I actually marked them. I can't believe it. Ugh. So I worked on this one, and going to town with this pretty pink color marker that apparently I have well loved, because it ran out right there. It sure did. So I just finished it with some purple and just blended it in a little bit. I mean, what are you going to do? All this in here is crayons from some different sets I have, but mostly from the confetti. And then where you can see that glowing, those glowing lines, that is glaze pens. So, yep, not a masterpiece, but another one down. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny and cute and perfect the way it is, I guess. And then the other one I worked on is right here. And let's see, I'll pick you up. You can get a better view or not, because I have two lights on. But I really enjoyed her. I did her mostly with the skin tone set, and then the rest of it was done with Twistables. And then this pink part right here, I don't know if you can tell by the way the light is hitting it, but it is glaze pens. So yeah. And if you're wondering, if you're new, wondering why the backgrounds aren't done, this is a book dedicated to my brother who passed, so I want to leave a lot of the backgrounds blank for now, because I might want to add lyrics and jokes and funny things that I remember he has said to me, or pictures over the years, because, you know, as you get older, you forget. And I find myself forgetting something, but then something will trigger a memory, like a commercial or something dumb like that. And I'll wish I, you know, had this kind of done so that I could run over here and write it in, but I don't want to. I should probably just start writing the things on papers and then stick them in, because I don't know exactly like how I want to write it. Do I want to write it in pen, or I want to write it in cursive, block letter, blah blah blah, you know, all that. So anyway, one step closer in that one. You guys saw, I showed this one already, but I did finish everything that I was working on. So that is done. That is done. If you want to hear about these more in detail, they should be in not the last video, but probably the one right before it. where I'm talking about getting back into books that I had kind of given up on before. So this one was a whip, and I did finish it. I did not blend out the skin. You know, I might come back and do that later, but I did work on the boat so that it wouldn't be so warpy, and it helped some. It helped some to have my hand pressure pushing on that. I went back in with different pencils over the Prismas, or was it a marker? It might have even been a marker or something, because it looks a lot darker. I couldn't get the Prismas to really catch onto this paper very well. I mean, you know, maybe if you just keep on layering and keep on layering, but crayons work wonderful. This is a completely crayoned background, except for the water is excuse me, intense, but most of it's crayon. I've found, you know, a love again for crayons, so I'm probably going to be on that for a while. What kind of, you know, different crayons I can find, and which ones I like, and stuff like that. Because if I'm going to get more of these books, and I know that crayons work really well on them, then I'm going to want to probably have a more selection. So those are all done in that. I hope to finish this book in March. I just got sidetracked with the other ones. And now my leg is falling asleep. Okay, so I was telling you about this book. I did come back in, and I'm really trying to be better about my whips, because I can really be ridiculous. So I came back in and finished this one. This entire thing here, except for those little orange circles right there, the whole thing is crayons. So this paper also takes crayons really well. I just, you know, used the white to my advantage to make highlights, because, you know, the white crayon doesn't seem to work really well. And then I switched colors. They faded into each other. They worked really nice on this paper, so there's going to be more of that. And then I finished this side, which was a whip. And this whole piece that I was complaining I would never want to color with, you know, a gel pen, was all done with the, not this shade, but these are Crazy Art gel crayons, and they look like this, and they twist up, and I was obsessed with them years ago for a long time. Obsessed. So there's those two, and I didn't quite finish, but I did do this side, so this was only partially done. And the same thing, I just went down and did the whole bottom of him with crayons, and made some of his spots a little darker. I added some yellow because I felt like maybe he was looking into the setting sun, was, you know, the effect I was going for. I use a lot of, let me see, these. I love these in this book. I love these also in the art book, the first book I showed you. And these are Color Point by Ink, mechanical colored pencils. When I first started buying these at the Dollar Tree, they came in a bigger pack, and you got packets of, or like things of ink, not ink, leads with them, so that when you ran out, you could change the leads, which I really like, because, you know, I love me some twistable Crayola twistable pencils, but I feel like, you know, there's a lot of plastic waste going for those. And so I wish that I could find these in a bigger set. I know they have the June Gold pencils, but, you know me, I like to buy stuff from the Dollar Tree, because I am watching all my dimes and nickels. So yeah, these, it just depends on what kind of paper that you have, but these can be really great. And then what's I like about them is this sharpener at the top. You pull this off, click your pencil down, stick it in the tip, right, and twist, so you can get a nice sharp point. And this is a hard lead, so it will stay sharp. But I also use these on my twistable, Crayola twistable pencils to sharpen those too, because they fit right in there. You just have to twist out enough lead. So there's that. But yeah, that's what I used for the yellow highlights, and the pink one I used in his ears and stuff like that. And now I'm moving on to him because I feel like she wanted to be blue. So yeah. And then I have to move on to this crazy page, and I'm probably just going to go along with the craziness of it because there's really no going back now. My own fault. I put in a lot of colors, but I was kind of testing some things out. And then I'll be caught up in that one. So that will be so nice. Yay. This one is a brand new book. The picture isn't done yet, but I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of my thoughts on the book. This is Famous Illustrators of the Golden Age. Coloring Portfolio, American Edition, 1898 to 1921, 40 single-sided coloring pages plus biographies. So I'm starting here. I used Inktense on this umbrella because I wanted to try them out. And, you know, this paper is, I'm trying to think of a book to compare it to that we would all know. Well, basically it's computer type paper. It's not as bad as Amazon paper, but it's not good. So, you know, there's only so much you can do before you're going to start overworking. So I have a variation of media going on here. I have some Sharpie in the design of the umbrella, and just I think regular pencils, Crayola maybe or something there. And then I was doing the design of her dress with some Sharpie, and then I was even using crayons because I want to test it all out. And then I think this is paint. So yeah, and then I have Prismas on her skin, and I'm just going layer by layer. So I'll have this in the finishes next month, but I just wanted to let you know how it was going. If you were interested in this book, if anybody is interested in a full flip through, let me know. It has these really cool pictures where there's no outlines. So like this right here. So the whole background becomes the dress. I don't know what that's called. But I think it's going to be really interesting to color in. So there's that. Oh, I have to move my foot even though it's holding this. And then this one, you know, I'm trying to finish. This is Relax in Color. Beautiful and inspiring. My gosh, this is old. This is it says display until December 14th of 20. So that's not how long I've had this, since 2020. But I've got all the way down into here, and I did not have this color marker. And also this spot over here was supposed to be this color, and I messed that up because I was watching TV. But I had it like all the way down, like so far, and I just said, oh my god, I'll just use pencil. I really don't care anymore. So it's a crazy looking picture, and I also don't have a light blue, that color marker. I used to, but in Super Tips, but it ran out many pictures ago. So that's also pencil. So it's mixed. And then the same thing happened with this one here. I did not have the color. This was before I found that Prismacolor marker I just had in my hand that I was showing you. This was before I found it, or I might have used it on here so it wouldn't look so crazy. But I might not have, because I want to save it for when I have to do light skin coloring, you know. So that one also looks crazy. I go to the beach a lot. Never have I seen a shell that looks like that, unless maybe it had like some moss or something on it. But so yeah, this color was wrong, and this color was wrong together. Really, I mean, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that one's done, and now I just have one. I'm gonna like doing that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean, this is on my 10 books to finish. If I can't finish 7 pictures before the year is over, count me out of the game, guys. Oh, yep. I wanted to show you just for funsies. Let's see, where did I put it? I showed you all my little kits. For beach fun. So yeah, look back a couple videos on the last haul I did where I got little mini kits. So I took everything out of this one, the plastic and stuff, and I put in the Art 101 pencils that it came with. I put in the little markers that it came with. And I put in some Crayolas. And I know I have the mini Crayola and pastel, and I just don't know where it's at. Well, that's okay. This is plenty. And then I found the binder that my grandson and I used to use. So I use the inside here. I can also fit the sharpener in here if I want to. But in this part, I have the drawing little sketchbook. I have one of the coloring books here that I haven't used. And then in this one, I went ahead and I just did some of the backgrounds with the paint that came in the other Art 101 set, which I don't happen to have sitting here. But I went ahead and just did some ahead of time of the backgrounds. Just so that if I take this with me, I don't have to bring so much stuff. I don't even have to bring all this. I just happen to find this because I wanted to show some people that, you know, haven't been watching my channel that long. But my grandson and I made this book years ago. This is just a little, I don't know, I guess it's for note cards or whatever. But when I had pages that I didn't think I would want to color, or books that, you know, I was getting rid of or whatever, I would cut them down and then punch holes in them and put them in here. Like, this is something he colored. And we would just take this with us, you know, in the car or to restaurants, because he used to love to sit at, you know, like Fazoli's or something like that. He used to just love to sit there, and I remember doing that one out there with him. So yeah, it was a way to kind of not waste coloring books that I wasn't really into keeping the whole entire book of things like this, you know, patterns and stuff. So I have a mix in here of scenery and patterns, and some of the papers of these are really not bad at all. So yeah, I just put all this together, but if I was going to go out, and this was my tester, if I was going to go out, I would choose probably what I was taking, and then just pop, if I was just going to want to color, I would just pop the mini book in this tin. It fits, it's flat, and then I have what I need, and plus the sharpener. So I just been kind of like gathering up, you know, stuff like that to take with me, because we're in bike week right now, but when it's over, and the beach is quiet again, then I'll be going back to try and dry up whatever gunk that I have accumulated in my lungs for the last 4 months. So I'm sure you needed to know that, but excuse me. That's all I have for you today, and I have a video coming up on some fashion coloring stuff that I want to do, so keep your eyes out for that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come back and visit my channel once again. I appreciate you. Have a great night.